Welcome to this Tutor to You Sociology topic video looking at interactionist theories of crime and deviance, focusing on the work of Aaron Cicourel. Cicourel was a sociologist who was interested in certain social phenomena and often conducted research into the perceptions of young people by authority figures, and this included research into the role of guidance counsellors in the US and the advice they would give to students from different social backgrounds. He was also interested in the reactions to deviant behaviours, and conducted research into two cities in California to see how juvenile delinquency was managed in both areas. Cicourel found that middle-class juveniles were less likely to be charged with offences, as they were better equipped to negotiate the criminal justice system, while those from low-income areas and with parents in manual occupations were more likely to be subjected to stereotypes through their progress in the justice system. Police officers, juvenile officers and others in the justice system were more likely to charge those from a low-income background as they fitted a criminal type. In his research, Cicourel found similar rates of delinquency in both cities, but the recording and charging of juveniles was more consistent in the areas that were seen as bad areas. Residing in these areas meant that delinquents were more likely to be arrested and charged for incidents, and these came from the lowest group on a 7-strata classification system in American society. Children of occupations such as drivers, cleaners and manual labourers were more likely to be arrested than the children of other occupations. Cicourel argued that this was because of preconceived ideas of police officers and juvenile officers. They had a fixed image of what a typical delinquent looked like, and those from lower income areas fitted this type. Their language, appearance and attitudes were found to be consistent with the descriptions obtained of typical delinquents, and so they were victim to stereotyping within the justice system and consequently received harsher penalties. In contrast, Cicourel found that middle-class delinquents were more likely to receive lenient treatment by the justice system. As these delinquents had parents with middle-class professions, they were able to negotiate the justice system, convincing the police that their children were good kids and were just having a rough time. These parents would be able to convince the police to drop charges as it may influence their future, and the police would be convinced that the middle-class parents would be able to control their children in the future. As they were less likely to be charged with an offence and rather just received a warning, this resulted in lower rates of middle-class delinquency. Rather than being seen as criminal, the delinquents were often seen as having youthful high spirits that were best controlled by a quick scare, enabling them to have a bright future. However, the lower class were not afforded the same luxuries, and often received criminal records and even custodial sentences. An example of Cicourel's findings can be seen in recent cases of middle-class boys being treated leniently by the justice system. In 2005, Brock Turner was found guilty of sexually assaulting a fellow student at Stanford University while she was unconscious. Turner, a collegiate swimmer with a bright future, had his parents negotiate the justice system, with Turner's father famously stating in court that his son's life should not be ruined for 20 minutes of action. This demonstrates the prevailing attitudes of middle-class misbehaviour being seen as a lack of judgment rather than criminal intent. The judge passed a controversially lenient sentence on Turner as a result, sentencing him to 6 months, of which he served 3. Turner attempted to appeal the sentence, which had a maximum term of 14 years, and many commentators have suggested that the sentence would have been different if Turner was lower class or from a non-white ethnic group. Cicourel's findings can be evidenced by examining the differing rates of offending by social class and by ethnicity. With those of lower status less able to negotiate the justice system, they are more likely to be found guilty. However, Cicourel also assumes that all members of the justice system will label delinquents in a similar fashion, rather than by judging cases on their individual merits. Finally, as with many interactionist approaches, it fails to acknowledge why the deviant act is committed in the first place. It merely focuses on the perceptions of criminality within the justice system. That concludes this Tutor to You Sociology topic video on interactionist theories of crime and deviance, looking at the work of Aaron Cicourel. Thanks for watching.